All right, so,
Oh my gosh,
what?
like, can I roll my computer next year?
Yeah, why isn't it, ready to go?
Because, I was bedridden.
Oh, and you just let it die?
Yeah, I need to sleep for like 8 hours. I appreciate you.
Good. All right, so distance. Jacob, what do I put in here? Yeah, you, Sturmy.
X1 and X2.
All right, so which one do you want to make X1?
What's that one? So, -5.
Do I add or subtract to the other one? Okay, what's the other one then?
6. Oh, 8.
Yeah, 8 minus 2. All right, so X minus X, Y minus Y. Doesn't matter what order, just be in the same order. Okay, if you start with the -5, like Jacob said, then we got to start with the 8. All right, don't mix the X's and Y's. All right, X minus X, Y minus Y. So that's -11 squared, which is 121. And that's 6 squared, which is 36. What's that, 157? And then I take the square root of that for, if you want to do that, but most people just put it in decimal form. It's fine with me. So the square root of 157 is 12.5. Any questions on distance formula? All right, midpoint. What numbers do I put in, Nathan?
-5 plus 6. And then 8 plus 2. And then over 2.
Right. So we add the x's, add the y's, divide by 2. So that's what, 1/2? And 5, right? So 1/2's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that point look about halfway between those two? Yeah. Okay? So that was some of the stuff we were doing yesterday that you guys were supposed to do. Usually we have a few that don't do it, but last night was quite a few that didn't do it. All right, so we started at 6. Square root of 61, or 7.81, is the answer. Number 9 is the square root of 89, which is 9.4 decimal. Number 12 is 5.2 when you do it. All right, then I said skip 15 and 18. And then 21, the midpoint is 6.4. And 24 is -5.3 and 2.2. Any questions on up to 24? Okay. Again, it's just doing the stuff we just did. 27, okay? We were supposed to graph. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this graph down. Oh, I can't. I already put it on there, didn't I? All right. So I'll just get another one. Oops, this is what I want to do. All right. must have it.
On YouTube.
All right, 27 was the next one, right? It was 0.25 x squared. Remember when it's x squared, what is it? What do we call it? Parabola, right? I told you you can use your calculator if you want. So just go to your y equals 0.25 x squared. Hit graph. Okay? So if you need some points, you go to second graph or table. All right? So negative 2, 1. 0, 0, 2, 1, I think would be on there. Now let me do this. Pull these over so I can see them. All right, negative 3 doesn't give me much, 2.25. So that's about there. And positive 3. So it's just kind of a fat parabola. That's 27, okay? 30 was an absolute value. All right, y equals the absolute value of x plus 3 minus 2. Again, you can do that in your calculator. What's it supposed to look like? What did we say yesterday? A V, right? Okay, so again, just go to your calculator, go to your y equals, clear out the one you just did, go to math, and move over to number. That's where absolute value was. That's the number one thing there, ABS. So just hit enter, and then put x plus 3 in. Close it up, so the parentheses like closing that up, and then minus 2, and then graph. Okay, so there's your V. Again, you need some values. All right. So negative 5, 0. Well, I should do this again, right? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Negative 5, 0. Negative 4, negative 1. Negative 3, negative 2. Negative 2, negative 1. Negative 1, 0. 0, 1. 1, 2. So this would be like this. Okay? Simple, right? Calculator's doing the work for you. Right? You can always, though, if you don't have your calculator, do an XY table, what we talked about yesterday, right? 33. Was y equals 1/2 x minus 1 squared. So we got an x squared again. So it's going to be a parabola. Again, just use your calculator. Y equals, clear it out. 1/2 is 0.5. So I'll just do that. X minus 1 squared. Graph it. Looks like that. Again, get some points. Put in the right spot. Make it look symmetrical here. There, that looks symmetrical. So I take this and then plot them. So negative 2, 4.5. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Negative 1, 2. 0, 1/2. 1, 0. 2, 1/2. 3, 2. 4, 4.5. All right. Okay. 36, again, just put it in the calculator. And then 39 and 42, all you had to do is find the x and y intercepts. Okay? Remember, x-intercept, what do you put in for y? 0, right? Y-intercept, what do you put in for x? 0. You just put in 0 for y, 0 for x to find those answers. So 39 was 60 for the x-intercept and 0 12/5, which is 2.4 for the y-intercept. 42, it's negative 60 for the x-intercept, and there's 2 y-intercepts. 0 positive radical 6 and 0 negative radical 6. That had a y squared in it. Okay? So remember, when it has a y squared in it, it's going to open up, sideways, right or left. Okay? So you just put 0 in. You didn't have to graph that one. You just had to find the 2 intercepts. Or actually, that had 3 intercepts. Okay? So, questions on any of that? Okay. So yesterday we graphed lines, parabolas, absolute values, the v's. Right? That was it, wasn't it? Nothing different. Today, we're going to graph circles. Okay? When the x was squared, it was a parabola that opened up or down. When the y was squared, it opened right or left. In circles, they're both squared, the x and the y. Okay? So the standard form of an equation for a circle is this. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay? The center of our circle is the point HK. And what's the radius? What do you think they use? R, yeah. Okay. So that's what it'll look like when you see an equation for a circle. Okay, Mather? So, if I have this equation, what's my center? Anybody? 2, negative 5. Very good. Okay? Basically the opposite. Alright? Opposite of negative 2 is 2. Opposite of plus 5, negative 5. It's what makes that 0. 2 minus 2 is 0. Negative 5 plus 5 2. Okay? So to graph it, I'd come over here to 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there's my center. What's my radius? 6. Yeah. Remember, this number is r squared. So you got to take the square root for the radius. Okay? So what I do is I just go from the middle 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what happens with a circle, right? Radius is from the center to the edge, right, Hannah? Okay? And then we just draw our circle. So we do that. So my point down here was. Okay?
You can withdraw.
Okay, so what we want to do is get it to look like this. Sometimes it doesn't, we have to make it look like that. And then we can tell the center and radius and graph it. Okay? Can't really put that one in your calculator. This is something you gotta learn, but it's pretty easy. Questions? Okay, let's go the other way. I'll give you, whoops. Go back to my pen. I'll give you the center. And the radius. Should have made it a different number for that, right? What's my equation? What goes in here? X plus 5, yeah. What goes here? Y minus 1, yeah. You guys with me? And what's it equal then? 36. I should have used a different number. What if I said it was 5? Then it'd be 25, right? Okay? That?
Plus 5.
Yeah, you guys said plus 5, but I wrote mine.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, x plus 5. The opposite, right? -5, so that's x plus 5. Okay, can we go both ways? Okay. What if it said this? The center is -4, 2, or -2, sorry. And the circle passes through -1, 2. So when it says the circle passes through -1, 2, what's that saying? That's on the edge of it, right? You guys understand that? Okay, so at -4, 1, 2, 3, 4, -2, there's my center. -1, 2. Okay, and I'm supposed to find the equation of that circle. I can do this part. What's this part? X plus 4 and plus 2, yeah. But how do I find that part? Tommy? Yeah, just do the distance we did yesterday. But then whatever we get for the distance, we have to do what with it? Squared. Okay? So we're going to go D equals, doesn't matter which one, but we go, let's just use this as x, the 1x minus the other one, plus the y minus the y. All right, so that's what happens here with the two negatives. That's addition, right? So that's -3 squared and -4 squared, which is 9 positive and 16 positive, which is 25, right? Well, that's the square root, right? So basically, if you don't square root it, that's the answer, right? Because we're going to end up doing what? Once we make it a 5, what are we going to go back and do anyway? Square it to make it 25, right? So we have to use the distance formula to find that radius. Does that make sense? So you have a couple problems like that, where you'll be given the center and what it passes through. So you can do this part right away because you know the center. You just got to find the distance between those two to find the radius. Radius squared. Okay, does that make sense? All right, the last type that you'll see will look like this. Okay? And they're going to ask you, find the center and radius for this circle. And again, you know it's a circle because it's got an x squared and a y squared in it. Okay? But we just have to rearrange some stuff so we can do this. All right? So here's what we do. We put the x squared and the x together, and then we add a blank. We put those together. And then we put the y squared and the y together, and we add another blank. We take this constant and move it to the other side. So that equals positive 3, because when I move it over, I have to add it, right? You guys with me so far? All right. So what we have to do is what we call complete the square. You guys remember how to do that? I think we've done that this year already, haven't we? What do we do with the 6? I don't remember. Maybe we haven't done this. Divided by 2. Yeah, divided by 2, which is 3, and then what? Square it, yeah. So you take the 6, divide by 2, which is 3, and square it. So that's 9. 4 divided by 2 is 2, squared is 4. Okay, so what we did is we made it, when we complete the square, we're making it one of those special trinomials. I think we did this when we were factoring way back. Okay? And solving quadratics. So remember, when we make it one of those special trinomials, we can factor it like this. Oh, and also, if I do something to one side, what do I got to do to the other? The same thing, right? So I have to add a 9 and a 4 on this side. So I keep my equation balanced. Don't forget that part. All right, so then we just factor these. The x squared minus 6x plus 9 is just square root of x squared x, whatever's in front of the middle term, and the square root of 9. Square root of y squared is y, whatever's in front of the b, and the square root of 4. Okay? Equals 16. So now I can tell what the center is. Andrea, what's the center? Good. And what's my radius, Dominic? Remember, that's, if we go back, the 16 is the what? R squared. So what's the radius? 4, yeah. So take the square root of that number for the radius. Okay, so they'll give it to you looking like this. You just rearrange it so your x squared, your x together, plus blank, your y squared, your y's together, plus blank. If there's any constants, take those to that side, add your blanks. So if you add 2 blanks on the left, you got to add your 2 blanks on the right. You're not changing stuff. And then once you take half of b squared, so 6 divided by 2 is 3 squared. That's how we got the 9. 4 divided by 2 was 2 squared. That's how we got the 4. We can factor it so it looks like our circle formula, standard form. Okay? So that's the one that gives people a little bit of problems if they're not paying attention, just playing with their pencil or something like that, you know? Yeah.
So I get like the 9 and 4, that's what.
Again, you take this number, the B, you know, that's our A, B, and then we're trying to find our C.
Yeah.
So we cut it in half, 3, and then we square that.
Okay, that's right.
Anything else, question-wise? Got this, Austin? Good. I know you got it, right now. You always have it. There you go. Practice quiz tomorrow. We'll go over Thursday, quiz Friday over this stuff, yesterday and today's stuff.